Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here with you. LL League News, LL League Football Week 6. One last friendly reminder. Ooh, I have an ear infection. And my whole brain just hurts. My neck. I'm having a tough week. Okay. But we plow on here. Week 6 previews. Doing my best to keep up with this. Section 3 games, 3 league games and a non-leaguer, which involves Elko this week. Will somebody just join the LL already and get this number even again? Come on, Palmyra. Off the soapbox. All right, the Section 3 games, here we go. We'll start with the first place game, a showdown game in Section 3 this week. Northern Lebanon Vikings are 2-0 in the section. They've won 3 games in a row. Triple option is cooking. Tanner Dresch has been quite good running that option. Doesn't have the best passing completion percentage here, but just making plays all over the place. 450 rushing yards, a couple touchdown passes. Vikings are playing well. I picked them second, and here they are. They got a chance here this week to really put their stamp on being in this race. They go to Columbia. Crimson Tide also playing really well. 4-1, 1-0 in the section. They opened their section play last week with a win at Elko, 34-7. Defense was good, scored a bunch of points. Seth Lefevre's been great. Mentioned this the other day. Since stepping in for Tyler Harrison, he's been very efficient under center, rushing for a bunch of yards, scoring touchdowns, getting the ball in the flat to Burke and letting him make plays. Columbia's defense, I think, is top 10 in the league, number 8, I want to say. So Tide is doing some things. And without throwing the jinx on them, at 4-1, they're the number 1 ranked District 3 single A team, and nobody else in that bracket there has a winning record. So Tide has all but locked up a playoff spot. I have no idea how that formula works at all, so I wouldn't even attempt to calculate it. But I think it's pretty safe to say Columbia's in. Big game. First place on the line in Section 3, because you know who's over there. Lancaster Catholic also 1-0. One of these teams stays with the lead pack. Northern Lebanon, Columbia. Circle it. Let's go to Catholic next. Interesting game here. Crusaders at home. Only undefeated team in the league. 5-0. Beat East Pennsboro in its last non-league game last week. 28-14. That's 2 weeks in a row the Catholics kind of had to pull one out. Beat Donegal only 21-14 in their section opener. And then East Pennsboro game. I think I was 7-7 in the third quarter, I want to say, before Catholic kind of kicked it into gear and won. So still 5-0, still 1-0, still ranked number 1 in District 3 AA. But, you know, looking to get better and improve, and especially get better on D. Roman Clay's back in the lineup. He had a knee thing. He's back. He played last week, 80 yards and a touch. Keep an eye on the quarterback spot for Catholic. Zurich came out of the game last week. Mac McCafferty's back, and then I heard he hurt his hand in that game last week, so we'll have to see what Catholic does with quarterback. In this game against Pequay Valley over at Rossmere, PV 3-2, 1-1 in the section. Great game against Donegal last week. Figured that would be nuts, and it was. Donegal wins late, 28-21. Donegal scores, Pequay answers, Donegal comes back, answers. 3 touchdowns in a dizzying minute or so of action. So great game that was. PV still playing great. Has the 3 wins for the first time since 2002. Tricky game here over at Catholic. They're a handful for anybody. So we'll see if PV can give them a game. Hang in there. The score's been kind of ugly, quite frankly, the last couple of years. And I don't know if we'll see that. I think PV can hang with these guys. Braves are playing well, as mentioned a lot here. I've talked about them quite a bit here the first 5 weeks, so we'll see what they do over at Catholic this week. Pequay Valley at Lancaster Catholic. Last league game, Donegal 1-1 goes to Ambo-Cleona, 0-2. Dutchman last in the league in offense, only averaging 190 yards a game. They've only scored 40 points in the 4 games. They have the postponed game against Hamburg. First 2 section games for Anvil have not been fun. They've been outscored 80-12 the last 2 weeks. Just 1 touchdown against Pequay and 1 touchdown against Northern Lebanon. So Anvil-Cleona struggling a bit. Just kind of need things to get cranking, get some momentum going. And now they'll get a Donegal team coming off a good win over Pequea Valley, had a rally late and pull it out. Johnny Martin's been awesome. He's the reigning LL League News Player of the Week. Take a look around the page for that podcast. Neat kid, funny kid. Scored all 4 touchdowns against Pequea Valley last week. He was phenomenal. 3 runs and a catch. He's just been an awesome multi-purpose kid. Leads a team in rushing, leads a team in receptions. He has 2 fumble returns for touchdowns. Couple picks on defense. He had a pick last week. He's been really good. And the dual quarterback tandem thing has worked out for Donegal. Fultz and Robinson are both taking snaps. Was told it's not a problem. Both kids can run the show, so that's how they're doing it. And Donegal's got a win here and some momentum going into Annville. Donegal at Annville-Cleona on Friday. The non-leaguer is Elko at home against Camp Hill. A couple of 1-4 teams. Camp Hill's coached by Frank Gay. Used to be the head coach at Redland. Left there, and now he's over at Camp Hill. Traditionally a very strong single-A program. They've sort of hit the skids here the last couple of years. 1-4 this season. Won their opener, but now they've lost 4 in a row, and they lost to Boiling Springs last week. So they're sort of scuffling a bit, going over to Elko, which is also scuffling a little bit. Beat Lebanon in that great Week 3 game. Beat their big rival, Big Night. Lebanon was 2-0, and they knocked them off, but now Elko's kind of come back to the pack a little bit. Lost its first 2 section games, including the 34-7 game against Columbia last week. Did not make some calls, but I noticed some kids that were not in the box score for Elko last week in its Columbia game. So I don't know if there's some injuries involved or some other stuff, but I didn't do some digging there. So I don't know if Elko had its whole squad in the Columbia game. So we'll see if the Raiders have a full complement of players this week against Camp Hill. Sorry, I'm kind of talking in code there, but I don't know the whole situation. So we'll leave it at that. Camp Hill at Elko. Okay, Section 3, the big one, Northern Lebanon at Columbia. That's for first place. Interesting. Both teams still have to play Catholic. Donegal at Annville-Cleona. Pequea Valley at Lancaster Catholic. And the non-leaguer is Camp Hill at Elko. And I need some aspirin. Okay, there you go. There's your Section 3 games. Stay tuned to the page this week for all the usual stuff. Got the capsules just about ready to go. Video, stats, the works. The blog game Friday night will be from Mannheim. LS against the Barons in a Section 2 showdown. That should be fun. Come find me Friday night about 6:30 or so for that live blog. And that's Week 6 video previews. I appreciate you stopping by the page. And I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.